Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tom Mods Things. Today I am doing the full episode in a helmet because Phil keeps on bullying me about flicking my hair. Hi guys, welcome back. Little bit of a joke there, not really going to be doing the whole episode in a helmet. That would be particularly uncomfortable. However, I'm going to make an active effort not to flip my hair so much because definitely being pulled up on it at the moment. It's just a nervous twitch thing, I think, just with filming and stuff. But anyway, so that is that. As you can tell today, obviously, we are back working on project Max Power 106. Got a few bits we're going to do today, mainly going to be doing a lot of exterior bits and bobs, a few bits on the interior we need to sort out, and then generally just starting to put bits back together. Some people will wonder probably why I'm starting to put windows and seals back in even though I haven't done any of the body work. For me personally, I find it much easier to be able to work through a car once I know that all the bits are there, whereas at the moment we actually have really no idea whether it's all there or not because it's all currently still in boxes and there's doubles and all sorts of various bits, so it's just easier to work through that all. Right, so a few things that we're going to do today. We're going to clean up all this bumper, so we're going to sand back all these sections and then sort out this crack that we repaired last time. So now this is all dried and stuff, we can now sand back, fill over the top and get this bumper nice and smooth, ready for when we get round to colouring the car and getting it the correct shade of what we're going to be doing with it, and what you guys pick for the colour combination that we do on it. So we're just going to crack on with that now. Right, we're going to do some work on the ring as well. Wing. Start that again. We're going to chop back some of the areas where we had some overhangs from where we laid over the fiberglass, and then what we're going to do is smooth over the underside because that's not had any work done to it, and then we'll get the body filler out. We'll fill in the gap on the bumper, which I've just done now. So just been sanding this back. As you can see, it looks like essentially blue before it went silver. So anyway, it's interesting, and then yeah, we'll start to fill over the top of this and get it all looking ship shape. Right, to show where we're up to on this front bumper. So we've basically just been sanding back all the old paint, and we just thought we'd give it a quick going over with a bit of primer just to kind of get it all one shade, so then we can start to sand back over again and it will basically pick up the high and low spots, and then we can kind of work from there really to make sure that we are getting it as flat as possible. Repairs looking pretty good, a little bit more filler needed just to cover this little small bit, but as you can see, you can't really see now that there's or there used to be a crack there, which was kind of literally just there, which is cool. And then putting the primer on, picked up a few places like where it's hit curves and stuff where I'll just need to flat it off just a little bit more, a couple of places around here, and then I think I saw a place around here, but yeah, it's kind of all much the same. Taking out a lot of the bubbles that were all over it as well, that were on the underside of the lacquer. And then we have also been reworking this rear wing as well. As you can see, there's body filler on it at the moment, just waiting for that to dry, and then we can sand all that back, and then we can start to primer that as well, just to kind of do exactly the same process on this. But yeah, looking pretty good. I'll be pretty happy when this kind of goes back on here, but as you can see, we've got a long way to go with body work. This kind of shows you sort of the bubble. So it's obviously it's been painted, but there's been moisture underneath it, maybe from when it was sat outside, I don't know. And then that's caused the bubbles to kind of raise on the underside of the lacquer. So all of this needs blitzing with sandpaper to flatten it all back off again. So obviously that's going to be a fairly big job. And then it's the same sort of thing kind of all round it really, to be honest. But nothing too crazy, nothing too mad. We can definitely get to the bottom of it. Right, show where we are on the rear spoiler. I've basically just been working up, as you can see at the moment, with the filler. Obviously there's high and low spots all over it at the moment, because obviously we're just trying to build this back up to a point where we can have something to work with. But what I have done is reworked this edge, basically rounded it off so that it's not such a sharp edge which can easily get sort of chipped, and then just started to reshape just around this sort of area here, which should give us a much better seam line as it sits on the back of the car. So as you can see, what we've started to do is just build this area where before you saw it was like a massive, apologies for the noise, big dip and up. What we've done is we filled it in, and then as you can see, we've just started to work over the top, and then we'll add more over the top of this just to smooth these little pitted areas out all the way along. And then as you can see, as we get up to this bit, so much better than what it was before. And then just started working across this, as you can see, just sort of taking off areas. We've got sort of some reshaping around here, and then this is then where it properly needs some work, which is to effectively smooth over the join that we created to get this top blade in position. So going to still do some sanding and trimming, and then the body filler straight over the top of this, and then sand it all back to get it as smooth as it is kind of on here at the moment. And then after that it should be pretty good. A few small areas, as I say, around here which we're going to work on, and yeah, it's looking pretty damn good. Front bumper's totally done, so just leaving this on the back here now. So that's been completely sanded back, filled in, and then primered over the top of it. So we're sorted with that. We've got the fenders to do next as well. So as I said on the video earlier, we've got these kind of bubbles in the paint, so we need to just totally sand all of these all the way back, and then we can rework the bubbles to basically get it all nice and smooth again. Right, and what we're moving on to now is some of you have seen on my Instagram, I'd designed up some Aero pieces for the Cayman for the moment, but we'll be doing these for sort of any car really, in sort of any style that you want, whether you want your own logo put in and things like that. It can be fully customizable, but what these are is we're going to have them attached to my side skirts that I made as well, like this, and then kind of give us a sort of a more aggressive Aero package, and then we'll kind of mount them straight back into the over fenders in this sort of top area just up here. And then what we have got is similar ones, slightly smaller, and what those will do, which I'm showing here because I'm going to shorten the skirts ever so slightly, but we're going to get these to sit like this on this one as well. So front and back, I think going to look pretty damn good, to be honest. So we're just going to crack on with that now and get these fitted up. Right, just to kind of show where we're up to. So we've got our rear ones mounted, sort of using some of the bolts because I didn't order any stupidly, so there's a difference on the top bolt to the bottom bolts, but I don't think you can really tell. What we've done is spaced it out with a rubber washer at the top because I kind of liked it sitting just ever so slightly off, and then we've got L brackets that go straight into the side skirts on the bottom here. Then we've just started to measure up the front ones, but I'm just sort of looking at the overall style of it and thinking, because I haven't actually got any for this front bit, so it might look a bit weird with only the sort of ones on the side skirts, so I'm going to have a look and see what I can find, and then on this side as well. I think they look pretty damn cool, to be honest. Quite happy with how they've come out, so pretty happy I've managed to get them on before the Max Power show next weekend. So yeah, we're just going to see if we can get the front ones all measured up, and we'll go from there. Right, so one of the smaller pieces that we had that turned up was just some cheap speakers, just for the meantime, just to get some sounds into this car before we go full crazy with a full rear install, PlayStations and stuff, and kind of we'll leave the console and bits and bobs up to you guys to decide, but in essence, and how many TVs we put in it as well, and various bits and bobs. But just for the moment, we're just going to pop these in the doors and get all the wires so that they're all just hanging loose, so then we can go through and start to create a wiring harness. Alright, so as you would have seen on previous videos, they decided to dynamite over everything. So anyway, so we're gonna have to cut out dynamite in this area because this is effectively where that speaker needs to go. So we need to remove all of this and get it so that it's at least able to accept a speaker. What we do need to do at some point as well is work out whether this electric window mechanism actually works, because I'm not entirely sure whether they fitted this or they were due to replace this with a sort of a manual version of it, which is the bit that we've got in the back. It doesn't look like it's been done OEM, as by these cables here give it away slightly, so we'll need to trace back kind of where these go, because there aren't any cables that come out of this door, so I think all of those cables are going to be kind of down here somewhere in the depths of this door, which we'll have to try and pull out, so hopefully we can see a little bit more when we remove this in a sec. Right, this is the hole cut out, and we've just found what I believe to be some speaker cable, and then also tucked in here is the wiring harness for the door, looking a bit manky, to be perfectly honest, and I'd imagine this is the let's say slight adjustment that has been made to allow some electric windows to fit on here. So yeah, it looks like someone's just drilled through the back of the casing and then put two of the connectors in, which are these two in here, so no idea whether where the corresponding connectors for these are, to be honest, but we've ripped out all of the old switches anyway, so even if we do use this, we're going to rewire everything anyway. So it looks like some spiders have made their way back in here again, which is slightly annoying, but anyway. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're just going to get all this sort of area all sorted out, and then find our mounting locations for the screws, and then what we are fitting in the doors are these pieces here, which are some cheaper Pioneer units, which will go in the doors, and then what we have for the rear are some of these JVC speakers, because slightly smaller, they should go in with the little GTI, as you can see there, the little grill on the back. And as I say, these are just going to be some cheap things to put in there just before we go the full hog, and just to make sure all the wiring is correct and stuff. So we'll flip these in right now. Right, there we go, just pulled it all out of the door. So yeah, definitely put in the window winders straight into the socket, which I'm going to have to work out a thing to do anyway, because where the Lambo hinges are on here, they've welded over the big, basically the supporting plate that sits over the that allows this mechanism to work, sits over the top of where that old hole used to be. So we're going to have to work out some way of getting this back to wherever the corresponding connector is in here somewhere, to allow the door connections and everything to work properly. So we're going to have to work that out at some point. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now that we've pulled this out is we are going to find our fixation holes, and we're going to get the speaker in. Oh, cool, there we go, first one in. I had to do a little bit of working my way in through the back here to just be able to actually get some fixings in, but yeah, looking pretty good. Right, and that's going to be it for today's episode, because it is actually my birthday today, so we are going to go out and celebrate that. So yeah, done a fair few bits today. We've done some of the Aero on the Pulgani, we've done some speaker work on the 106, we've reworked the front bumper, so that one is totally complete, so that's ready to go for final wrap effectively when we decide what colour we want to do it. And then we did some work on the rear spoiler as well, so starting to blend in all the edges on there and get that looking perfect, and I think you'll agree it's starting to come together and look pretty damn good, to be honest. So anyway, cheers guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.